are you ready, Aiden, to do the Bloodborne weapons and tools tier list?
I am.
Just did, let me get rid of this ad. Just did the bosses tier list. Now the weapons, because I feel like this is a game where you can talk about the boss or the weapons and rank them. They're so
Yep.
memorable, they're so unique and
It's sort of like Monster Hunter weapons, where each one is unique in its own right, and they have a lot more going for it than a normal Dark Souls weapon.
Yep. So I'm gonna have trouble kind of knowing which weapons are which based on the item.
I'll let you know which one's which, but let's start it off with the basic three, the basic ones that you get off rip.
Okay.
So let's go
Good
Saw
choice.
Cleaver.
Yep. Saw
Saw
cleaver.
Cleaver, S tier weapon. I think usability and efficiency is what this thing does perfectly. It's does a lot of damage. It doesn't take up a lot of stamina, and it's just there for the people who want to play optimally, and that's fine. It still does it really well, but its design isn't anything special, and its transform for or form versus its non-transform isn't really that different. Not a lot's changed. It's just there for the efficiency.
And it's the game's cover weapon that he's
It is the
holding.
game's cover weapon, and it's the iconic speedrunning weapon. I think that has value to it.
Mm-hmm.
The moveset isn't anything special, but
Just
that's
trying to
not what
find.
you're using this weapon for.
Man, I don't know if I could find the other one. Let me duplicate this real quick. So yeah, I agree. It's an S tier weapon. It functions really well because it works on a lot of beast bosses. So early game against cleric beast, Vicar Amelia, a lot of those walls that you face, the saw cleaver is kind of your go-to, and the design of it. I'll talk about the scythe as well, but I just love that meaty gripped handle and that vicious kind of nature of the look of it. It's got that style to it where it's a
I
weapon now.
like the folded form of these weapons, but I'm gonna be honest, I hate the unfolded forms
Mm-hmm.
for like the
Agreed.
saw cleaver and the beast whatever.
Scythe. Yeah, I think that it reaches longer, but it's slower, feels more
And it
clunky,
just looks bad. Yeah, it just
and
I
but
don't know.
but, but I do like the way that the saw form is the cleave form. It's just you can't beat that charged R2, and
No, you can't.
like right there, just the way. And
Yeah.
that one does it differently than Scythe, not as good, but still S tier weapon for a starter. It plays well in the game. You
Yeah,
can't
and they
complain.
give it to you off rip. It's just such a consistent weapon.
Yep. What's next?
Um Hunter's Axe, and
Okay.
then we'll do the threaded cane.
Hunter's
I think
X.
it is so good for just killing normal mob enemies because the reach and the width of each hit is just so insane. It's just a sweeping cone in front of you for every hit. So I think it's just really good for clearing out those basic bitch enemies.
It is a good weapon early on because it does have the wide sweeps that you say, where you can clear hordes pretty
But
easily.
it's definitely worse than the saw cleaver. I will say that. It's just good for clearing out those basic mobs. So I think I'm gonna put it in B, honestly, for like niche. You're not gonna use it against a boss. It's not gonna feel better than any other weapon against a boss. It's there's
It's
just not really
Yeah, it's
anything
pretty
stand out of.
basic. It's like a basic
Yeah,
axe. It's one of those where you'd expect more from a trick weapon, and it's not necessarily bad, but there's a lot more that have offerings you can't match, and I think
yeah.
this one
It
it's
just doesn't fill any role.
if you want a simple axe that just smacks enemies really hard, that's your
Then this is
go-to.
your weapon. Yeah.
But I'm gonna put it in B as well, actually, because I'm also not a big axe guy. So just from a preference standpoint, I'm gonna put it lower.
Yep.
All right, and then the
All
third
right.
one.
Well, moving on to the blunderbuss and the hunter's pistol. So you've opened my third eye with the blunderbuss.
Thank you.
It
You're
feels
welcome.
so good to parry with the blunderbuss. It feels like you're rocking their world when you hit stuff them with a parry from a blunderbuss. God, I kind of want to put it in S.
The thing about the
Is that
blunderbuss,
blasphemous?
the thing about the blunderbuss. Here, let me just add in moveset. Well, you can't even really add in a moveset, can
Yeah, it's just
you?
like
Yeah, the thing about the blunderbuss to me is I'm gonna put it in S. I can't put one of those weapons in SS right now. It just feels
yeah.
weird to put a parry weapon in SS. But the reason why it's so high is because it flows better in Bloodborne than like a typical parry weapon because it's quicker. So you can
Yep.
recover faster and get those parries off in between attacks where it allows you to be more aggressive, and that way you can recover fast with the blunderbuss that saves you. So I like that. It
And
doesn't.
yes, the pistol does more damage and does range parries, but it's just not as meaty, doesn't feel as good, and you gotta do that whole arm swing up, and sometimes you
And
can
it's
get
not what you're
caught in that
going for.
animation.
Like, you're not trying to shoot an enemy from 100 feet away, so the distance doesn't matter. You're always going to be close. You don't need the weapon to do 1,000 damage because your right-handed weapon's going to do that anyways. So it does what it needs to do, and it does
But
it the
if you're going
best.
for like a Bloodborne deck or Blood Tinged Dex build, and you're doing Evelyn and Chicago, then you do want your pistol to do damage.
Yeah.
But
Outside of that, though, it does exactly what it should do. Out of the best out of all of them, where
yep,
it parries the quickest, has the best frames on it, and feels good.
yep, I would agree. Hunter's pistol, I think it's just solid A tier weapon.
I love the look of
It's
it.
the look is good. It it just does its job. It does its job. There's nothing bad. There's nothing amazing, and it's just so average. But you're gonna use it throughout your entire playthrough because you never bother to change it. So I think it deserves
Yeah, I think
A tier.
A is the perfect spot for it. It's it's doing pretty much everything at an average pace. So its frames are average, its quickness is average, and everything else about it is pretty mid.
It's just yeah, but I mean it's not bad. It's
Damage is
definitely
good.
not bad.
Yeah, not bad, but I'm tempted to put it in B, but I think
I wouldn't put it in B just because people usually just run this their entire playthrough because it satisfies and it does the job.
yeah.
It does the job well.
Kane, where's the threaded
Threaded
cane?
cane. Oh, I forgot about that. That one's down there. Yeah, I would.
I'm tempted to put in A or I'm gonna go A, and here's why.
Really,
One,
really.
I didn't use the axe really in any of my playthroughs. I tested it out and maybe used it on a few mobs, but I did use the cane in the second playthrough, and against the cleric beast and a lot of early game enemies, and I like that it has a lot going on with it. It's got that Joker design where it's just kind of this cane that you're wielding, and you can kind of I don't know how to explain it because I've played Injustice and whatever else, but it's got this like weird cane that it resembles Joker for some reason, and when you
Or
can
it's just like a normal household object that turns into a deadly weapon.
yeah, and the fact that you can transform it into the sort of the whip style where it reaches longer. I like that because it's better for farming.
Yes, the
Um,
reach is so good on it. Actually, I think I will put it in A. The reach is so good on this weapon.
the
It
only
doesn't do a lot of damage. It doesn't really stagger enemies very well, but it
The problem
it's
is
the
it just
only
doesn't do damage. It's not
yeah.
it's not as like design wise and the way that it plays and feels it's pretty fun, but it doesn't if you want to go for damage or really beat a boss, this isn't a good weapon.
No.
And
It's quick, it's fast. It is the quintessential dex weapon, but there's not a whole lot of DPS.
yeah. But I do like that you can use this transform state and
Actually, I think I'm gonna throw it in B above the Hunter's Axe.
I like the transform state the way that it kind of you can see the after effects of the whip and that you can reach enemies if you really want to farm. Like I remember farming the Yarhorgul bagmen with this because it could reach them and they couldn't hit me. So
Yep.
it's got some like specific uses for it too, which I like, and I'm gonna use it because I used it a lot more than others.
Yeah. All right, let's go into left field. I'm gonna throw in. Let's just do a solid pick. A solid
Kirk
pick.
Hammer.
Kirk Hammer. I love it. Kirk Hammer is an A tier weapon. It is the meaty hitting hammer that turns into like a quick sword. So you have both the huge heavy hit attacks that do a lot of damage in one blow, and you also have the short quick attacks with the sword to deal with like dogs or something, so you're not just getting blasted on repeat by a dog. It just works so well together, and I think it's pretty underrated, honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And some of the
weapons.
moves look really cool. Some of the transform moves on this guy look really good.
Design wise, like the uniqueness of it, it definitely deserves higher, like an A or S. But to me, it's a little too slow for this game, to where it just drags on the gameplay, and that part feels bad. I also didn't use it a lot just because it's not really my style, but I do appreciate the difference and the uniqueness of it. And it can have some functions where like you use the heavy meaty brick of it to like just smush an enemy,
Yeah,
and I'm sure there are
like
some
that looks sick.
yeah, I'm sure there are some bosses too where it feels really good on, but to me, I don't like playing that slow, and it's got a little too slow of an animation.
Yeah, but it does have the quick sword for
So I'm gonna
faster
put it
stuff.
top of B.
Let's do the Shikage. Most damage on a weapon in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Most damaging weapon.
Yeah.
It
What do you think? What do you think about it?
honestly, I just cannot deal with that health drain. I really can't.
I
It's
was gonna
just too
say,
much.
I was gonna say,
I don't care if the weapon does an insane amount of damage and does poison buildup. Having health drain in Bloodborne is a horrible thing
death sentence.
because the all the fights are so fast paced, and getting off a heal, it's not like a guaranteed thing where you can just do it anytime, and having to do that consistently, it just feels so bad.
Yeah,
It feels so bad.
like an
I
Elden
think I'm
Ring
gonna throw it bottom of B actually.
in a normal Dark Souls game, an Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3, this weapon on
Would
bosses
be
where you have
amazing.
yeah, where you have timings and you can kind of plan out your draining blood and all that could be amazing. But in this quick of a game, it just doesn't function well where you're trying to bleed yourself but you're already weak. You just die, you'll die too often from it.
Also, actually, I think I might throw it in top of B just because the L2 transfer or the L1 transformation and back into the normal when you hit it twice. So you go into the blood mode and then back out of the blood mode where it does a fuck ton of damage. I think that is really viable.
Yeah, I don't. And
And it
one of the other things I don't like about it is it just isn't unique enough. Like it's got a
no.
very samurai move
Yeah.
set to it, and the only real specialness to it is the blood effect. But that's just adding blood to all the samurai moves. So
Yep.
that part doesn't appeal to me. And
I wish the Rakuyo had that blood aspect to
like
it.
I want
That
to
would
put
be
it.
so good.
I know it's hot. I want to put it in C just because it has so much potential, but it's a letdown in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's got good damage without even using the bleed on it.
Yeah.
It has a decent move set just as far as like hitting enemies and dealing with bosses. But I remember trying it and feeling so disappointed by it. So that's why I want to put it lower. Like
I'm putting it at top of B just
I guess that's
because
fine.
it
Yeah.
it doesn't deserve
I think a lot of
A.
people are going to put it SS or S and they love the shit out of it, but I don't feel that way at all.
Like I mean, just the health drain alone, it just take makes the weapon useless to me.
Yeah.
Um, let's go with a trash weapon. What weapon is actual trash? Hunter storage?
I was looking at that too.
Fucking hunter storage?
Yeah, this
Literally nobody uses this. I want to
this is like a
see
troll weapon.
anybody. Yeah, it is literally only a troll weapon. It does actually 5 damage per hit. It doesn't. There's no point in you using this weapon.
Yeah. It'd be funny if you did a playthrough using it, but the actual weapon, it is the.
Both of the torches, both of them.
I feel like a
What?
fucking peasant using this weapon. I'm just hitting them with
What
a
is that
goddamn
slow
stick.
animation too?
I could go outside and grab a bigger stick that would
Look at
work
how
better than
bad
this.
that animation look. Oh my
It's
god,
like
man.
whoever was designing this was just running out of time or something. They said, "Fuck it, let's just give him a stick." I can't deal with anything else. We've already got to deal with so many other weapons. Let's just
Yeah,
throw on some
it's just
fire.
so fucking bad.
Yeah,
Holy
it's
shit.
like a yeah, it's just comically bad. Okay. Dang. Should we go with a weapon or a pistol here? Let's go with
Yeah,
what is this? I can't remember. It's like the spray
that
can.
that's the Rose Marinus, the
Rose
one that
Marinus.
shoots the mist. The
Yeah.
other one that shoots the flamethrower is called the flame sprayer.
Rose Marinus. Let's talk about it.
Rose Marinus, man, a lot of the draw to my enjoyment of the flame sprayer is how cool it looks when you're just spitting fire on these guys and they're getting staggered over and over again. But with the mist, it just doesn't look as cool. Yes, the Rose Marinus has so much more scaling, and it does an insane amount of damage when you have it scaled up. Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even hit him for that
As
much.
far as
Look,
like as far as
look
like uniqueness and all that, it's got to be SS. You're carrying a goddamn flamethrower like a kitchen coffee pot in your hand that's just melting enemies. So I think it's hilarious that you can use that and it does a lot of damage, but the problem is you have to really focus the build to be able to make it work, otherwise it's
Yeah,
terrible.
it is high arcane.
Like if
Using this with the Holy Moonlight Sword isn't a bad build actually,
you're
but
not using this on Lady Maria hoping to get a parry off. There's a lot of like this is just a weapon where you've got to go arcane. You have to stack the hell out of it, otherwise it's not going to work. I think it's
yep,
funny. It's got a unique kind of like I'm going to spray this mist everywhere and it reaches. So
I think it deserves S.
I would agree. Like I like that they went somewhere with it. It
Yeah,
stands
it's
out.
very unique. It's enjoyable.
I never used it.
Actually,
The
I
problem is I
think
never used it enough to
yeah,
really.
I think I'm gonna throw it in A because I want to throw the flame sprayer in S because the flame sprayer just looks so cool when you're just
I
lighting
guess that's
kids'
fine.
asses
Yeah,
on fire.
yeah, that's fine. I'm agreeable with that. What about
Do the flame sprayer next.
okay? What
This weapon, exactly like the other one, except it's just instead of like a hilarity of you just blasting someone with hot air, you're actually just scorching them alive. If you do this on like basic bitch enemies, they're just getting roasted, and it's so funny to just see them. And I don't know, it just feels so good to use this weapon. Yes, you can't parry. That's a definite downside to it, but you're
This guy
lighting them
tried to
up.
beat his ass with a flame sprayer. Let's see. Make it work, buddy. Make it work. It looks like he's not even using it. He's just getting torched. Nope,
What
that's
is it? Well, that's not a flame sprayer.
with
What are
only
you
a flame
doing?
sprayer. Come on, man. That's cringe. Try again. All right, let's see. What do you got for Mikolash's call from beyond? Can you flame? Oh, you're dead. That's
You
unfortunate.
see even holding a flame
Yeah,
sprayer?
he's got it
There
right
it
there. He's
is.
got it right. He just keeps dying every time I scroll. He's dying from call from beyond. Come on, bud. Come on, man. That's tough. That's tough. Use it. There we go. So there's the
There it
actual
is.
move set. Okay,
Lighting
that's
him
what it
on
looks like.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's cool. I think it's cool, and it would be fun to use. But again, when you're facing Lady Maria, cost all these great bosses, you can't pull that off. So
no.
that's the problem, is you can't
Yeah,
pull it off.
but
But fun.
when you do use it, it looks
I mean, sure,
amazing.
go around Central Arm and spray some enemies with it. Not a problem.
Yeah, lighting those little beastmen on fire.
All right, let's. What is this? Hunter's Torch again? Did they duplicate
Well,
this?
one's the torch and the other's the hunter's torch. The torch does 5 damage a hit. The hunter's torch does like 25. So
Wow,
huge difference there.
they really got creative here.
I know, I know. While we're at it, let's throw the lock shield in D tier as well.
Lock shield. I don't even know if I've gotten this thing.
It's in the research hall. It actually you can block a
I
move
didn't
with
even
it,
spell it
but
right.
it'll take all of your endurance with every move you block. And you'll just sit there in that like posture broken state.
Oh,
And
I love being posture broken state. I love
yeah,
permanent. Let's see how.
yeah, it just makes everything awful. Honestly, it's just so bad. There's no point in using it.
Yeah,
Oh, the plank shield as well. Where's the plank shield?
the thing
Yep.
about it is like this is Bloodborne we're talking about. You don't use shields, so that's why
Yeah,
they go
what
here.
are you doing with the shield in this game exactly?
Yeah, I think the plank shield. I'm actually gonna put. Where is that? I don't see it. Am I blind? Oh, there it is.
bottom right.
I'm gonna put it in C because I do think it's funny, like carrying just a shield. I think that's hilarious.
Just a fucking
Like
stack of wood on your arm.
this tier list is one where we don't have the best experience. We only used a few select weapons. We tried most of the move sets, but like unlike the bosses where we went through them 3 times, there's not a lot that we can say on it other than just our first impressions. And the wooden shield, I'm just looking at it like I'm laughing thinking about trying to use this thing. It's like trying to just cover yourself with a fucking piece of wood against a boss. Just thinking about it makes me laugh.
Imagine doing this against Ludwig
Yeah, it's like
against his second phase.
yeah,
This guy has
this
got like a
pile of plank.
10-foot magic sword, but I'm gonna hold up a piece of wood.
Yeah, this pile of plank I picked up's gonna do the job. We'll make it work. Yeah,
I
yeah.
literally just picked this up off the box outside.
I'm putting it C for that aspect. Let's see. Cannon. We can go with cannon. I think
Cannon,
cannon's like S.
I think it is S2. When you blast a kid with the cannon and they go flying, it is the best feeling.
Yeah.
It is so good. And it does so much damage
You
when
talk
it's fully
about
upgraded.
laughable. This thing, when you just absolutely put an
You
enemy on
have
their
an
ass,
entire fucking cannon on your arm.
and you probably could you even do it against? No, you can't do it against amygdala, I guess.
He shot him in the head once and he's gone.
This guy's playing Remnant right now. Yeah, I think cannon's
I
got to
mean,
be.
look at the
It's like
damage.
what other game can you have a cannon, just a giant ass cannon, just linked to your arm that does massive damage and just plops an enemy on the ground? You can't beat that. I wish I would have used this more. I saw you use it on a couple of bosses and you just put them on their ass. I think it's hilarious how you can do that.
Yeah,
And
it's so
I mean,
good.
I'm tempted to put it in SS just because
I think I will too,
I haven't
honestly.
look. I haven't used the weapon a single time, not a single time. But I'm already looking at it and I would love to use it. It's hilarious.
I used it a
Just
good bit,
let's watch
and it
this
was
little doll get molested here. Yep.
just blasted.
Yeah, that's an SS.
And if it was so good to just one shot basic bitch enemies, like in Central Yarnum, those guys with the swords, just blasting them 5 feet back with the cannon. It felt so good.
Can't beat it. What is this saw spear? What is? Oh, hook claws.
Oh, the beast claw.
Beast claws.
I'm throwing this in SS of the cannon because when you beat Lawrence, when you get through that tough fight, it is well deserved. You get the beast enhance embrace rune or whatever it's called, and it completely changes the move set of this weapon, and it is so cool.
Let's see. Let's see.
You can combo literally every move. You can combo an R2 into an R1 into an L1, whatever you want. And you, as long as you have stamina, you can keep attacking. It's just, and it gives you the permanent beast blood.
Yeah, you can build beast pellets up pretty quickly with it. I think my problem is one how to we haven't talked about it yet, but how to get the weapon is one of the hardest
It is so
tasks.
bad, but it is worth it. Well,
Yeah, is it worth
is it worth it?
Nah, I'm putting
Probably not.
I'm
But
putting it in the C tier because to me, I don't really like having these handheld weapons. It's the same way in Elden Ring with the hook claws that look like Wolverine. Like, yeah, they're cool, but I don't like playing with them, and I'd rather have a better looking like a much more stylish weapon than this. So I just feel like you have a couple of extra long, nails on your hand. That's
no, I think that the fact that this thing basically has 4 modes, 2 for each, one without the embrace, one with, and you can play it in so many different ways. And the forward R2 can literally insta backstab. Yeah, that.
ooh, okay,
It
okay,
can literally insta backstab. So
okay. You know
you
what?
don't even have to be in behind them, and you can just hit an enemy with that, and they're parryable.
You know what? Just from seeing that, it's so unique that it has to go higher. I can't put it in SS because getting it one I
Just from
haven't
seeing that, it's SS
yeah,
tier.
one I haven't used it. I haven't been able to get it. I don't want to farm for it, and I'm just not a personal fan of these kind of weapons. I'm gonna
I
put
don't
it in
think it's
like
worth it to get this weapon, but I have enjoyed
I'll
all
put
of the fights I've used this weapon with,
bottom of A.
especially with the Beast Embrace.
And I feel like it plays well in this kind of a game. Very
Yep,
quick.
it really does.
All right.
All right, Beast Cutter. I
Okay.
think this is top of A tier. Ooh, maybe no, top of A
Beast
tier.
Cutter is
It's too
such a
slow.
Yeah, the thing is,
It's
the
too
look.
slow to be an S tier weapon.
It's one of the coolest looking weapons,
It is,
and
and it has so much range, so much utility with the range as well. I like a lot of the move set to it, and look at that.
it just
Like
has
a
such a
lot of
fun
those
move set.
moves.
Like, if it was a
Yeah.
little bit quicker and it didn't feel as slow, I'd have it like an SS, and I would have
Yep.
used it more. But I remember the moment I tried using it because I did
It
want it.
was so slow.
Yeah, if it was a little bit quicker, it'd be SS. I'm gonna put it bottom of S because it has a lot going for it. It just has a lot of transformations. The move set is very varied, and yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep it at the top of A, but that's just preference.
Actually, you're right. It's a little too slow, but I'm gonna put it top of A. It's a little too slow, but it's better than all these A weapons.
All right, let's get in one of the goats.
Let's
One of
do
the
it.
goats.
My goat or your goat?
Uh, my goat. My goat, the boom hammer,
I agree.
baby, the quintessential meaty fucking hitting weapon. And just yes, it doesn't really have two forms since you're just like charging the weapon and you're doing sort of the same thing but with extra fire effects, but it just feels so good to use this charged R2 and the regular R2 and the dash into
You see
R1.
this guy?
They
Look at.
all
You see
yeah,
this
he
guy
fell
whiff
off
into
the
the
edge.
stairs.
Look at him.
Just watch this man. Watch this man.
Ah, see again.
I hated that ladder too. That was a tough
It
ladder to get
feels
up.
so good to use this weapon, and when you hit him with the charged R2 and it does an explosion, it literally just sends him flying. It feels so good.
Yeah. Well, one. So I don't. I didn't play this weapon a lot. I'm still putting an SS for a lot of reasons. One, people compare it to the Tonitrus and they say it's not that good because it doesn't really have a transform state. It just has fire effects. False. False. First off, as you said, the charged R2 and the fire state sends them. It just absolutely nukes them the other direction. And I remember using this on Gehrman, and like every time you charged up an R2, if he was remotely near it, it just put him on the ground. And it feels so fucking good to do that to an enemy. I imagine in crowds too, like in just gank fights, you can
It
just,
works so
yeah.
well.
And
I absolutely one-shot Shadows of Yarnum with the boom hammer the first time I played him.
And it's a unique case where yes, Bloodborne's fast and you need a fast weapon, and this is not that. But because it has good damage and it has these effects of putting them on the ground and just
Dude, the
like
damage
controlling.
on this weapon when you get like full blood gems that have like fire plus physical, and it does some ridiculous damage.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of using these slower type weapons, but I did like using this against Gehrman, and I imagine I would love it in other scenarios too. I'm putting it SS because even though it doesn't really have a lot of varied move sets, the fire and the effects of it just they feel too good to not put here.
Yep, yep, I agree. And when you crank that shit, when you
Yeah,
transform,
when
it
you
just
transform the way that it like chinks, the way that you
yeah,
just
that guy puts his entire arm behind that shit and just absolutely slams it into place, and you're like, "Yep, I'm ready to fuck you up."
yeah he just loads it up. So I like it, and people who say it's like the Tonitrus, get the fuck out of here. It is not at all.
Donatrix is some basic ass fucking. Let's do
Let's
that
let's
next.
talk about it.
It's the disappointment,
When I saw you
brother.
using this in our first playthrough, and I saw the electricity on it, I was like, "Ooh, what's that weapon he's using? I kind of want to
It
use it."
looks cool, but then the move set is just so fucking average. That's the hunter tool, not the other one.
Hmm.
You're on the wrong one. But it is just such an average move set, and it doesn't even have a transform state. I'm throwing it in C tier above the plank
Yeah,
shield.
it's the same move set just with lightning on it, which is the problem. The and I think the R ones and L ones they stay the same. I'm not sure.
It is just the disappointing brother of the boom hammer.
Like you can give it props for having electricity on it, so it's got a little bit of an effect. But the actual move set, the
And the range is so bad. Like at least with the Blades of Mercy, the range of the weapon is short, but you dash with it. This has no movement. It feels so clunky to play this weapon as well.
and it just
I
doesn't
it
have the damage or the same power that the
yeah,
other weapons have.
it's just so disappointing in every aspect.
Yeah.
Although the lightning is cool, and it is the only weapon in the game that has lightning ingrained in it, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Okay, let's do what is mm, let's go with the Rockio because I think we both stand the same with that. Which one is it?
Yep,
Is it this?
Rakio, Rakuyo. No, it's the one bottom right.
This? Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
is.
one.
I am. It's
Rakuyo.
hard to put above Boomhammer or not. I don't know. It definitely is
I'm
better.
not.
Like objectively as a weapon, how it
ob-
performs, it's way better.
yeah,
It's
objectively,
one of the
yes,
best.
it's better. I'm not putting it above the Boomhammer, but it feels amazing in its own way. Boomhammer is like perfect if you want meaty hits that have like a visible impact on the enemy. This is like quick hits that you can chain together really easily. In the transform state, you can chain all combos with an L2 in between it, and it does something different except for the spinny slash.
I love that it's got a story to it, unlike a lot of weapons.
Yeah, it does
To
have a
get the
story to it.
weapon, you got to go in the fishing hamlet
Those
well,
guys
and
suck
that is
ass.
like a Mission Impossible scenario where you're just fucking like dealing with a bunch of shark menaces who are unbelievably challenging, and so it feels like you really earned this weapon. And then when you get it, it's worth it because it's one of the most overpowered things in the game. And I just love the noise effect of when you like you didn't hear there, but right
Yeah, when you
when you
just
just
like clink it into place, cling.
the way, and I like that it's like Lady Maria's weapon too. You see it in her cutscene cinematic where she just
Yep.
separates it. So when you just can combine it, like one, I could just L1 all day long with this weapon. Just keep clinking it and unclinking it and connecting it. That's a satisfying feeling. It performs really well. One of the best weapons in the entire game, damage wise. Move set very expansive. Like you can combo in between L1s. The different stances with the dagger and the longsword. Only the longsword. It all just kind of it feels unique every single time you play it. My problem is sometimes it doesn't feel good, like I talked about with the Mikolash fight, where that dagger piece in the combo string
Yeah,
sometimes misses enemies. So like,
the dagger attacks do have a tendency to miss, which
yeah,
is really annoying.
and it feels like sometimes you can't control your positioning. Like you just can't like I don't know how to explain it. It just gets out of control as far as where your character goes when you swing. Um,
This felt amazing to use against Koss. It
yeah,
really did.
it does feel amazing to use against a lot of tough bosses, and it has that special effect or trait where when you roll and you do an R1, like he kind of it leaps towards the enemy, and
Yep.
that's nice. So and the R2 as well. Forgot the spinning R2 attack or L2, excuse me.
L2.
Yeah,
But if you do an R1 and then an L2, it does a completely different move and you can chain combos with it.
it's just one of those where how can it not be SS when it has probably three times as many moves and
As
interactions
any
than
other
any other
weapon,
weapon.
yeah.
So I think it has to be here, especially how you get it and the
Yep.
yeah.
All right, on to your baby.
Which one? I've got two.
Your first
Didn't
baby.
pull out.
Your,
Oh, my
your
first one.
first one.
All right, Blades of Mercy. What a weapon, man.
We'll
God,
save your second baby for later because we both agree on that as well.
Blades of Mercy to me feels like a Borderlands quest to get this weapon. It's like on the side alley in the middle of the night. You can kill Eileen or do her quest, but it's like the fact that you can go and get it. God, I don't even want to see the moves. I just want to see like how you get it. Like that's the part that I love about it is every time I start up the game to go get this weapon, I'm looking forward to it. Going to the side, finding her, and having a real battle out to get this
And
weapon.
she is tough early
Yeah.
game.
So it's like
She
you can
is
get it
insane.
early and it'll help you out, or you can get it later. And I don't know, everything about this weapon just screams me. It just screams Davy boy. You got the daggers and the dual and the transform state. You have this kind of curved sword, like sea-like weapon. The way that
Look
it,
at
yeah,
that. The
the way
running
that
R2.
the R2, the way that it has this lingering effect
Look at
after
that.
the
All the
transforming.
moves looks yeah, the dude when he flicks it into place on the side, that looks so cool.
It's got the same
Yeah.
kind of like clinking that the Rockio has between L1s that you can just spam and feel good about. And then the move set, like the way that the best part about this weapon to me is when
It flows so well between like transform and untransformed, and it has so many different moves, like with the running
that
R2,
the double
the
R2s,
transformed R2,
yeah,
and also the L2 as well.
yeah, it's just got it's again like the Rockio. It has a million different moves, way more than any other weapon. And I also love the fact that when you're dashing, it's got this lunging effect. Every single roll or dash you do, when you R1 or R2, whatever, it always lunges. So it's like the perfect distance. They tuned it so well to where in a lot of boss fights, like Koss and Ludwig, it's like you dash through them, and because the weapon dashes back so far, you get right back in the fight. So
Yep.
it just has a really good rhythm to it and spacing.
I'm throwing in an SS right below the Beast Claw
It's
and
my,
above the
it's
cannon.
arguably my, I think it's my favorite. It's tough because I think now I'd probably say another weapon, but this one holds a special place in my heart for a lot of reasons, and especially the,
Dude, looking through these, like, I'm gonna have a lot of SS.
they've got a lot of good weapons. But
Yeah.
where do they fall in the SS? This is the top so far for me.
Yep.
All right. What about, let's get a weapon in here, a gun. What is this? I don't even know what this is.
That's the minigun. The guy you meet in the cave who just blasts you on
I never fought
repeat.
that guy. What is it called?
He's just like a common enemy. Just do minigun guy. Bloodborne.
Minigun. PvE meta. DLC Gatling gun. I love the
Yeah,
look. I'm already saying it. I think it's super cool to have this
it
giant
looks
Gatling gun.
amazing. I think it's S because it's not on the level of the cannon, but
Oh, I love it. I actually love it. Damn.
you
I don't
can
know.
blast people with it.
I think I
It
might
it
like this.
just
No, you're right. The cannon's got that knock you on your ass effect, and that's way better. Than,
and
but
this is just like spamming shit on him.
but that still is really cool.
Yeah, it's still really cool. I think I'm gonna put it top of S,
I am
but
too.
I don't think it deserves the SS category. It is super cool. You do have this massive weight attached to your arm, and you're just absolutely hammering the enemy with your attacks with it. But
Yeah, it doesn't
it
really
doesn't
belong.
have the meat.
The other problem is it doesn't really belong in this game. There's a play style to it. Like if you want to go blood cage
Yeah.
and do this, sure, but like look at that. Are you really enjoying a fight this way? I don't know. To me, I would use this weapon 100% when I'm just going through Central Yarm or something, and just
Imagine using this on Witches of Hemwick, just
yeah, or
blasting them.
just like a basic enemy going through the street, just innocent bystander. You're like, oh yeah, maybe I'll mow down the lawn today, and that's just the kind of weapon you'd need for it. So I'm putting it in top of S. I kind of want to put in SS, like right below cannon because they're just different. I think it's
No, I think
yeah, cannon. It's got more function. It can put them on their
yep,
ass. And all right,
it just works better. All right, let's do Saw Spear.
okay.
Saw Spear, I think it's a better version of the Saw Cleaver. I'm not gonna lie.
I've heard that. I've
The
heard that.
the weapon, the move set just feels better in every way. It's quicker. It has a lot more jabs that come out quicker and reach longer. The transform moves are really insane for it. Are really good.
It's got a
I
cool
think,
design with like the spikes on this form. Not well, both
yeah,
forms actually. It's got the spikes on it, so it's got a little bit of
yeah, and
different.
I honestly don't mind the transformed form of this one, where
Yeah,
it's,
it works well. It's pretty quick, and
yep,
even though it's kind of basic, like it's a spear move set, I think it works well in the game. It's just the right amount of speed and distance on all the attacks. Yeah, it's a lot of poking, but you've also got the saw form, which I love. So, I mean, I'd probably put it A, like top of it, or yeah, probably top of A. One of the better performing weapons. No,
you
I,
put
I wait
you
wait.
put Saw Cleaver in S.
Yeah, probably there then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I put it. I agree with literally everything you just said on it. Not much more to say.
What's this repeating pistol?
Repeating pistol.
Probably
It
B.
does the most damage for a single trigger pull in the game, but it also shoots 2 bullets.
Yeah, it costs 2 bullets, which is a problem.
Yeah, so I think it's just like an A tier.
It's just like the hunter's pistol to me, where it's a
Yeah,
very average weapon, and yeah, it shoots 2 bullets, and that's the only difference between that and the hunter's pistol.
I honestly cannot fucking find the repeating pistol. I don't know where it is. Am I blind?
God, imagine PvP back in the day. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
All right,
Am I actually blind? Where is it?
it is on the top right.
That's the Evelyn.
Oh, then I put the Evelyn in there.
I think they left out the repeating pistol.
Where is it? Maybe they did. Well, repeating pistol. If it were to go somewhere,
It
put
would
her,
go.
put her there, or put her right here in A. Put her
Yep.
there. Okay.
Let's do the Evelyn since we're on it. I think it goes in S, right below the blunderbuss.
Blunderbuss. Yeah.
Because yes, it does a lot of damage. Yes, it's the best version of the pistol weapon, and the way he shoots it is really cool. How he sidearms it and
I do like that. Yeah, he's got the gangster sidearm. That's sick.
yeah, and but like it's just it has the best out of all the pistols, but it just doesn't compare to the blunderbuss with
Yeah,
the parry frames and the quickness of it.
it just comes back to the story of like unless you're doing a blood tinged build, this weapon is outshined
Well,
by.
if you're doing a blood tinge build, this is top of SS best weapon in the game. But if not, then no, you're just
Yeah,
I don't know.
and it's also pretty lame how you get it just in a random chest in the library with all the bitches who scream. Not a
Yeah,
fan.
yeah,
What is the? Oh no, we'll do that. What is this?
that's the bloodletting staff.
Bloodletting staff.
It transforms into a massive meaty mace when you
Bloodletter.
yeah, the bloodletter.
Let's see what this is about. I never had this.
It's like just like a normal mace hammerish, but then it turns into a huge fucking thing
Pretty
when it's
weak so far
transformed.
without the transform state. Wouldn't
Yeah,
wouldn't write
it's
home
pretty
about
weak.
it. What's
Yep.
it got here? Okay, still nothing. Where's the transform? Let's go back. All right,
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't
run
spoil
R,
spoil
run R2.
yourself.
Whatever. Typical run R2.
And here it is. This is the weapon.
You lose a little bit of health, but it doesn't seem like it drains constantly, so that's good.
It yeah, it's like seppuku. It just takes a chunk. So it's the
Which if
best
that if that's
version.
if that's how the Chicago was, way better.
Yeah, way better. But it's not, and this is way better. I like look at that move set. It looks so
Oh,
good.
look at how he's just swinging over and over again overheads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean it's just so good
it's not a
in the
weapon that
transform
really
state.
appeals to me gameplay wise. It's a little slower, but I can appreciate what it's doing. So I would put it probably A or S, bottom of S, maybe
Um,
top of A, bottom of S. It's got a little bit going for it.
ooh, would I put it
I'm putting it
above?
bottom of S.
I think I would put it above the flame. No,
It's just
I'm
like how do
getting
you
crazy.
compare that? Like I don't even know how you compare those two. It's just
Yeah,
like where does it even go?
I'm putting it bottom of S. It is really fun to use. It hits meaty, but it's outperformed by all these. It doesn't fill a niche as well as them.
What about Ludwig's rifle?
Yeah, that's the church cannon that you just did.
Oh, let's do church cannon then. Church
Right.
cannon.
It's just a worse version of the cannon. That's pretty much it. It's the exact same thing. It looks cooler, but it performs worse.
Well, then we don't even need to talk about it.
Nope.
If if it's
I
that,
think it's
maybe A. Like
yeah.
if it's trying to do its thing, maybe right here. I'd probably put it below this flame spray or whatever it is.
All right.
Okay, what is
I'm down for
this?
that. What is what? That is the rifle spear. No,
Oh, no,
that's the piercing rifle.
piercing rifle. All right.
So it's pretty much the same thing as the Evelyn, but it just shoots through enemies and only common enemies.
Ooh, even better. Yeah,
So
really.
you can like collateral them, but you're not really ever getting a collateral. There's like the amount of times that this is actually effective is very small. So it fills a role well, but that role only ever happens like 0.01% of the time. So I think I'm gonna throw it in bottom of B tier.
Yeah, it looks like it's very specific. You got to line up enemies,
Yep.
and I don't need to be in that kind of specific situation.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna pull this out just for that situation. You know,
I'll put it bottom of B.
you just put the church cannon there.
That's what it is. Or that's piercing rifle. Fuck.
That's the piercing.
Where's the church cannon again?
Church
Oh,
cannon was
right
at
here. This piercing rifle.
flames right
Here's
below the
well,
flame.
here's the
Yeah.
piercing rifle. Bottom of B. There we go.
Yep. All right,
What?
let's do the rifle spear.
Okay.
I think this is another bottom of B tier weapon. I
Yeah, I
really
agree.
don't like the weapons that shoot a gun for the
I like
R2.
the idea of it, but the fact that it drains a quicksilver bullet that doesn't do any damage unless you're blood tinge, and
Yeah. And the move set is just not that great. It really isn't. It's too slow even though it's a spear. He kind of just glided with that charged R2 though, but I don't know.
oh, buddy, get shit on. All right. Yeah, this is going in bottom of B again. I think I'd still prefer the axe over both of these.
I think I would prefer that you put the Rider Palash in there. That's the
Nice.
Rider Palash.
God damn it, everything goes the
Rider
same.
Palash is the same though.
Where is
I
this?
would,
It's this. This is the
yeah,
rifle.
yeah.
What am I looking
Rider Palash and Rifle Spear. Rider Palash is just the Dex version of the Rifle Spear, and it's pretty much the same thing, just quicker. So I would prefer both of those over the piercing rifle. Honestly, I'm putting piercing rifle below the Tonitrus.
Hmm. Yeah, because I would probably prefer using a Tonitrus as opposed to these weapons.
Well, I would just put the piercing rifle, but you can put them all below them.
Rice,
Below the.
I'd put them bottom of B. That's fine. I think they have a little bit
Oh,
more going on than this, but even though
yeah.
this is basic, I'd probably prefer to just use that in R1 than try and mix in a gunshot that does 10 damage.
Yep.
So whatever.
The Fist of Gratia.
Mm,
I would put
creative.
the creativity of this is really good. It's a quick silverless parry, and all it is you punch the shit out of them with your left hook
Is he doing it against
with the
Lawrence? Let's
gun.
let's watch Lawrence get smoked. Come on.
Wait, is this a strat against Lawrence? Yeah.
Not looking like it.
So it doesn't. It scales with strength, which is really good, and it's
Wait, maybe.
quicksilverless
Do you see
parry.
this?
Yeah, he's
Every
kind of like
every like two
knocking him
hits,
out.
he's stopping him.
Yeah. But the parry range on this is minuscule. You have to be in their ass to actually get that parry. And the startup for it is pretty long, so I would probably put it at the bottom of A.
Yeah, I think it's creative. You know, the image on it with just kind of this sort of what is it?
Wait, watch a beat. Look,
What is
Harry is with it.
what's the brass knuckles? Whatever you call them. It's sort of like brass knuckles on you.
Yeah, brass knuckles.
And yes, it's fun. It looks like it's fun to just kind of stagger an enemy, just punching them, just kind of giving them a mean left hook. But I'd probably put it A. I'll have to look at the tier list and see which one I want to put it at. You said there's a parry aspect to it as well,
Yeah, it still parries.
as in like.
When you punch them, it'll parry them if you do the timing right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can like repost them as well.
Yep.
Interesting. I don't know if we'll get to see it. Wait, maybe it was right there.
No,
Let's see.
no, keep going.
Can
Keep
he get a
going.
parry off?
There. Yeah.
Let's
Wait.
see.
Oh.
Nah. I can
Wait.
see it. I can see where it would be going. I like the weapon. It's a weapon that I wouldn't really use, but I can see the attraction of it.
Yeah.
I would put it in where's
You put it in S, bottom of S.
oh, I'd probably put it probably right below flame
Yeah.
sprayer or the sprayer.
Yep.
What is
Alrighty.
this wheeled weapon?
That's the whirligig saw.
Oh, whirligig saw. Yeah, that's got to be at least S.
I think so too. God, do I want to put it at the bottom of SS? No.
It's one of
I
those
think
where
it's top of S.
it's too special. You know, it's too standout with movesets and just appearance wise to not be above. How am I trying to say this? It can't be below S. Is what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And it has these quick attacks, so when you're fighting people who attack quickly, it has it with the mace here. But when you want to just tear them apart, you switch to that whirligig and it just rips them in half.
Yeah.
It feels so good to use too. All the hits are meaty.
The kind of the shinking and the fire, I guess the what do you
The
call it?
sparks.
Yeah, the sparking effect from that phase. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
And the noise as well. Yeah, I would say probably it's a weapon I'm not going to use on an enemy really, but I can see where people would love it. So maybe like maybe right here, not bottom. Yeah, right there. Okay, what is this?
All right. That's the church pick. Yes.
Church pick.
I am throwing the church pick in SS right below the Rakuya because it's just a quicker burial scythe that hits more consistently and has a better move set. The charged R2 on the normal on this short form is amazing. It looks amazing. The animation is cool. The actual R1 attacks on it are really quick and they go a long distance. But then the transforming when you turn into a pick and you just like sweep them like the burial scythe, but it doesn't feel as slow or clunky as the burial scythe, and the dodge R1 on the scythe form moves you forward so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just enjoy this moveset so much. It's just so clean. It's a much cleaner version of the burial scythe.
Yeah, I like it. I think that if I were to use it, I'd probably put it in maybe A or S. I think it's got a lot going for it. So, I have it right here. I'll put it. I'll give it right here, right above the flamethrower.
Alrighty.
Legarius's wheel.
Fucking.
Kind of like the whirligig, where it has such a unique
But like it
design.
doesn't. It feels so clunky
Yeah,
to
it
use
feels
as a
bad to
weapon.
use. It as a
Yeah.
weapon, like the performance is pretty bad. So I might put it bottom of A, because I think like Beast Claw. Yeah, it's not as good as Beast
I'm
Claws.
gonna throw it below the Hunter's
Beast
Axe,
Claws,
right
I'm actually gonna
above
put
the
higher. I'm gonna put
Rider
Beast.
Plush and
I'm
both of
putting
those.
Beast Claws in top of it or in bottom of S. I'll put
Um,
Whirligig in like a B as well, like top of B by Rockio. I think it's just one of those where it could have been good. I think it doesn't play as well in Bloodborne, and yeah, I like that you get it, or I like that it's tied to what's his name? Like,
Legarius,
no,
Alfred.
Alfred. Yeah, like that's tied to Alfred and all that. But what it is what it is.
Yeah. It's just it feels so bad to use. And the L2 is literally useless. It adds like 2 damage and drains your health constantly. It's so garbage. I'm throwing it right above the gun weapons and right
Yeah, I
below
would
the
probably
hunter
use
tech.
the Chicago before those. Probably use all those. Yeah, right there. It's good.
All right,
Okay.
stake driver. I want to throw an SS just for that charged R2, the feeling that you get when you hit a
And that's the
charged
weapon
R2.
that people use to one-shot bosses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the one-shot weapon. So it's got.
Yep. But if using it otherwise, its range is abysmal, and it just does not
It's
feel good.
it's what's that weapon that shoots through enemies? This one.
The
It's
no, it's the one in C tier.
it's
Yeah, that.
it's one of those where like it's a specific scenario where you need to use this, and it actually does what it wants to do, and it like does it perfectly. So
I think it that makes it deserve an A tier at least.
yeah, I wouldn't use it really ever. I think I'd probably put it below the cane, because I can appreciate the one shot potential and how you can do a specific build and play through only using this weapon. So all that, but it's very limited. Looks like in the move set besides the one shot R2.
I'm gonna throw it above the hunter's pistol, but that's just preference.
I guess yeah, what's the how do you compare it? But
Yeah.
okay, what's this? Not cost.
Oh,
Amygdala arm.
amygdalin arm.
I love the sound effects that this thing makes.
It's so
It's like a yeah,
creepy
it's like a
and
squid.
wiggly.
Yeah, it's like a wiggly squid like amygdala arm.
Honestly, it is pretty cool, but I just don't think I would enjoy using it, you know?
Yeah,
It's just too wiggly, too floppy for
really
me.
tragic that this guy's talking through it so you can't hear it. But it's got this kind of like slimy, bottom of the ocean kind of sound effect where it's just this wet noodle that's getting slapped around with each hit. And I don't know, I do like the after effects that it has of like this kind of scratchy arm above it each
Yeah.
time. And it's got some range, it looks like. So I don't know. I mean, it's not a weapon that I'm overly enthusiastic about, but
I would throw it in the bottom of A, top of B range. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I would probably put it on the same line as this beast cutter. May not perform as well, but it is very distinct and has a lot going for it.
Nah, I think I'm gonna keep it down here, but it's good for you.
Yeah, great for me.
Ludwig's rifle.
Ludwig's
I
rifle.
think it's just a horrible version of the blunderbuss. I think it goes right below piercing rifle, because piercing rifle actually has a use where this really does not. You literally never want to use this versus the blunderbuss.
Yeah.
I guess it has longer range, or does it? Does it even have that? I
Can't
guess so,
confirm.
but like that's it. And it's worse in every imaginable way. It is so bad.
Yeah. We'll put it in like a C tier by the plank.
Yeah. Let's go through some of these.
I don't even know what these are, but are we gonna go through them? I don't even want to rank them. What are these?
Well, I'm going through the ones that I know. The old hunter's bone, it just makes your dashes have more iframes and turns into like bloodhound step.
I fuck with that. We'll put it SS.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it uses like one quicksilver bullet, which is not that bad. So I'm putting it in S,
Sure.
right next to the blunderbuss. Sure,
Sure.
fuck it.
Yeah. Not really comparable, but I like the idea.
Not comparable at all, but whatever.
Yep.
And the eye laser is the madness eye laser from Elden Ring, the eyeball.
Eye Watcher? No.
No, eyeball tool.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Eyeball
It
too.
just take my word for it. I'm gonna throw it in right below the church cannon. And that's pretty much. Oh, the Tonatress. I don't even feel like ranking that. I'm throwing the rest in. Didn't
Wait, what's the
use
difference between the Tonatrist and this one?
that. The tiny Tonatress is a hunter's tool that just sends electricity across the ground like Cos, but in a much smaller form.
Oh.
Tiny
Seems
Tonatress.
cool, but doesn't seem like it would really work out well.
And it uses like 20 quicksilver bullets per use. It's something ridiculous.
Yeah, you could probably eat shit with this weapon.
Yeah.
Let's throw it in. And
We're throwing the rest of these in.
yeah, because
Didn't use.
didn't explore them enough.
Nope. But now up we have one more stinker before we get to this lineup. Honestly, the
What is
burial
this?
blade
Oh,
is
Burial Blade.
disappointing.
Yeah, that's the
It's
problem.
disappointing.
That is the problem.
It's so slow. It's just too slow with the attacks. If it was quicker, it would feel so much better. But
I love that
it
it's Gehrman's weapon, right?
yeah,
Put some respect on the man's name, but as you say, just you can't have a slow weapon in this game unless it does massive damage like a boom hammer and it sends them on the floor, or it creates distance, or it wipes out
it is
multiple
good
enemies.
for wiping out basic mobs at range, but that's like it. And the animation on the R1 spam for the untransformed form, this form, it looks so bad. Like it looks like he's like limp dicking the sword as he throws it.
Oh, I think I'll hit you a little bit. We'll see how you react.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's another one. Here's another R1. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think it
I'm
looks cool.
throwing in.
It definitely looks cool in the way that you can transform it, and it reminds you of Gehrman. Definitely has that going for it, but it's just a slower weapon. Doesn't play as well as a church pick. These are your words, not mine.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I'm
The
not a big
church pick is
fan,
just a faster version of this, and it feels so much better.
and I'm not really a scythe guy, so I'd probably put it
Uh,
in maybe B. Like it, like no, maybe A. I don't think it goes on the same level as these. I think it's a little bit higher.
I would rather use it over the fist, the
Probably use it over a
church
threaded cane
cannon.
too. I think the threaded cane. You know, a threaded cane
I,
I'm actually gonna
I
put
think it,
lower. I'm gonna put it in like a top of B, just
yeah,
because it
I
doesn't perform well.
I think I'm gonna throw it right below the Rosemarinus because the Rosemarinus does exceptionally well with at least one build.
Sure. So, cost
All right.
parasite.
Oh, cost parasite. Yeah. When I used
It's
this, it was just fists, so I don't know how to get this
no. You
thing.
should see it. What it's. I'd say it's similar to the burial blade, where it doesn't perform well. It just doesn't perform well. But yeah, you have to wear this.
What the
Yeah, you
fuck?
have to wear this. It's super. It's super cool actually. Look at this. Check her out. Oh, and I love that
What
tentacle.
the
I
hell?
love, and it sounds just like the amygdala arm. It's like that wet, gooby.
Gooby.
Okay, what is that? Are you just punching them?
Backstep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
what
know,
the? That
like,
looks cool
yeah,
though.
as like a just a coolness factor, the weapon's SS. But
Yeah.
I think probably you got to build a lot of arcane for it. You got to have a specific set for it. So, and that also looks like it doesn't reach very far. Looks like you're going to be whiffing a lot on that. So, I would say,
Get
damn,
to the transform form. Oh,
it's cool. Like it's very and I don't want to say that word again, but it is it is
that looks pretty sick, honestly.
yeah. It's just a story of like
Coolness factor.
performance versus yeah, fun. I mean, very interesting for sure.
I think I'm gonna throw it in the bottom of SS.
Bottom of
Just
SS.
no,
No.
no, never
I'll
mind.
put it
I'm tripping balls.
I'll
I'm
put it
tripping
right
balls.
here below the flamethrower. I think it has more going for it than the beast claws, and it's not as hard to, well, I guess it's harder to get if you factor in that you have to beat costs. But
Yeah,
but it's like you're going through the game anyways. This is like a detour, and you got to go a long detour for this.
yeah.
So I'll
I
put it
think
right
it
there.
belongs here.
Okay,
All right, we
now we're on
got
the
we got some
goats,
great ones.
the legends.
Oh, all right. Let's start with the bow blade.
Simon Bowblade.
Simon's bow blade. Both forms feel amazing, and the that. But if that was it, then this weapon would just be S. But the best part about it is knowing when to transform, because the transform on this weapon provides so much utility for each form.
That's
I know
pretty
I said
tragic.
form like 5 times, but
Air attacks
but
don't regain health. Pretty tragic.
you're really not using the arrow attacks for damage, and you're more just using it for like charged R2 back shots and backstep L1s to move backwards.
It feels more
Are
interactive, more immersive than
Yeah,
the other ranged weapons. Like the
it's more technical than any other weapon. It's like you got to manage range and melee together, and each transform attack either sends you forward or backwards depending on which one you're coming from,
yeah.
and you got to know which one you're going into.
It's one
Pretty
where
cool.
a Gatling gun and the other kind of weapons that you're just spraying bullets out of, you're just kind of it's the story of Monster Hunter with the light bow guns and all those where you're just fighting from a distance. You're not really in there.
But
This it feels
you
like you can
are,
get in there.
yeah, this one is like you are in
This one's
there.
more interactive and more approachable, I'd say.
I think it's this on the same exact level as the Rikuyo. for
And
me
I,
at
and I
least.
think it's cool the way that like the bow looks sick
The
as
bow
well.
feels satisfying to shoot
It
as
looks
well.
sick in the one-handed form. This weapon as well. I like that. So I'd
Yeah,
probably say
it has so many moves
S.
too.
Probably
Like
top of S.
I'm throwing it right next to the Rikuyo, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'll put it top of S. And now that I'm looking at the Gatling gun, it's like this thing is only here because of the coolness factor. But I would probably put it lower. I would say Saw Spear and all these would be higher. I'll put it a little bit lower
Yeah,
now that I'm looking at it. Let's go right here in front of the cannon this way.
actually,
Then let's go right here like that.
I might just throw it in the top of A. Actually,
And then I'll do these. We'll move these around like that. That's more
yeah,
approachable.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
That
Holy
goes
Moonlight Sword?
down here. Holy
Or
Moonlight
or no,
Sword
let's do
is,
Ludwig's Holy Blade first. Ludwig's Holy Sword.
yeah, Ludwig's Holy Blade. I think it's on the same level as the Rikuyo as well. I really do. It's just a different play style, but it
It's
fills the role extremely well. Where you're going for like meteor hits, but you're only going for one hit in between each dodge,
and it
and
works.
it
You can
feels
actually make
it.
it work.
Yeah, it feels really good to play. It's got so many moves with the combo as well, on top of the R1 combo and the charged R2.
Slapping Ludwig's chin with this weapon felt amazing.
Yeah, hitting enemies with it just feels
Yeah,
really
you can
good.
clear hordes with the great sword form.
The damage is amazing on it. And those are all the things you say about the Rikuyo as well, except the Rikuyo just is the Dex version, pretty much.
Yeah, I would probably no. There's just something about like the design because the thing is the other weapon right after this it looks way better to me. It's something about the green afterglow effects and this just doesn't have that. Like yeah, it's got this small form sword and to the great sword and it probably plays the same way as this other weapon, but I'm gonna put top of S right above the blowblade. I think it goes there. If it had,
All right.
it's like I know it's blasphemous. If it had any color on it, you put blue on the greatsword version. It's SS. It makes no sense. I know, but if I'm looking at the weapon while I'm using
No
it, that's
sense.
important. That's important. If I have to look at the weapon, so I'll put it there. And then let's go with
Holy Moonlight
Holy
Sword is
Moonlight
my
Sword.
second favorite weapon in the game. It just looks so good. It feels so good. It is a better version of Ludwig's Holy Sword
Yep.
in every single way. It has ranged attacks. The the normal sword, like this version, actually feels meaty, unlike that little stick you're waving around with Ludwig's Holy Sword.
Better
This
reach.
version actually feels meaty. The normal R2 on this form is super amazing. It reaches so far. And then when you transform it, both of the transform attacks like feel smooth to go into. That's the most important thing for transform attacks to me is the smoothness of the transition between like an attack into the transform attack, and it is perfected on this weapon. It feels so good.
Yeah, we said it in the boss tier list, but it is my favorite iteration of the Moonlight Sword
And
in the
look
Souls
like
games.
the I don't know why, but just the R1 combo looks so good
It's just so
on this
unique.
weapon.
Like, yes, that is in Elden Ring, and they do that in a lot of the games. But there's another move that they do where it's like this overhead. I don't know if they'll show it, but it has some kind of special effect or one unique move outside of all the other games, and I absolutely love that. I mean, the design you can't get better than this. It reminds me a lot of Ludwig, of course, but just that greenish, bluish, deep sea color and the glowing of it and
Yeah,
the
the
meat.
color is so good on this. I feel like they hit the nail on the head with the greenish or with the blue in with the hint of green.
Yeah, they nailed the color, the size of it. It feels just like a Guts great sword, and you can do the. I also like that you can kind of make it work. And boss fights, you can do like I did against Lady Maria, where you do one dash, do an R1 or an R2, and trade blows. And so I feel like it's a heavy weapon that still has a place in this game, and you can make work. And yeah, it's hard to say. Like I think I like the Blades of Mercy better for some specific reasons, but it is probably my third favorite weapon. It's like that and the Rocky are very close. But look wise, it's probably my favorite. I think it's probably the best looking weapon. Final weapon.
I think this is my number 3.
This is my number one. It's
Number 1.
Yep.
Shocker. I thought you would stick with the Blades of Mercy as number 1.
The problem is the Blades of Mercy have a reach issue that this overcomes. That's the issue. It just
The normal R1
oh, wait,
is
yeah.
the single best move in the game.
Yep. The thing is, like, when I first used it, and not in this form, not in the saw form, the problem is, like, if you use it at the beginning and you go, oh, why is it moving me forward? And you try it on basic mobs, it can kind of throw you off because it messes up your positioning and your movement. So
Yep.
it can throw you off. But in boss fights, and when you learn how to master it, it feels so good. And I love the fact that every single time I press R1, I'm closer to where I need to be. And I can just
Yep.
plan around it. And there's just like every single boss fight, it flows so well because you dash through and you're far away
And
from
you're
them, and then you
yeah,
R1
you're
to
not
get
always
close.
right next to them.
Yeah, so it's like the
So-
R1 is a perfect distance closer, and you get that from the Blades of Mercy, but this one just has a little bit more reach. And I love the design of it where you just have this meaty saw cleaver that you're gripping the handle on and you're fucking wrecking enemies with. It's a vicious, violent weapon look to it, and it's got a lot of moves to it. So it just has to be my favorite weapon in the entire game.
And the other transform sends you back, so you can hit R1, go in, spam R1, get your quick ones off, and then transform, and it'll send you back to where you were to a safe distance. So you can just go in, get out, go in, get out. And I think that's where this weapon excels.
Yeah, you could do an R1 L1 loop where you just keep going R1 L1 back, R1 L1 forward, R1 L1 back, and it's like so satisfying. And then when you just want to do, oh yeah, you can't even forget about the fucking R2s. The saw form when you hold that R2 and it just
Even
it's
the
like,
even the unsaw form is really good.
yeah, it's
too.
like the unsaw form. He kind of takes it like over the shoulder, just sort of like a long arm stretch that just smacks you. But it's like that saw form R2 where he's just grabbing it from the ground. It's like he's bending down to just pick this weapon up and slam it over. And it feels so good to just do that on the back of an enemy to be able to repost them. It's
just
probably my
slam
favorite.
it over their head.
Like doing that on cost in that final fight was one of my favorite interactions ever. And it's got that, and it also has the R1 dash forward and all the R1 L1 transitions to where it just is a perfect weapon and has so much going for it than every other thing. I think that the only problem is that this form is too slow outside of the R2 charge.
But it really isn't. I thought so too, but
It's not
with
slow.
the added range, it really doesn't feel that
Yeah,
bad.
it's still good. It's just not the best.
Yeah.
I would prefer the soft form. So
Yep.
I think this is a perfect one. These 5 are like definitive. I've used these 5 a good amount, so that's what I talk about, and this is exactly where I would want them in the orders.
Yeah. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've used 9 of these, or all 10. I've used all 10, and I loved all of them.
Yeah, you can't get better.
I
than,
can't believe that there are 10 SS weapons for me.
And Bloodborne has some of the. I think it's the best weapon game, or I don't know how to put it, as far as
Best
customization.
ratio of good weapons.
Yeah, sure they could have added a lot more, like Elden Ring and other games, but all of them have so much character and personality that
Yep.
it just feels like they're their own, thing. And the way that they interact in the boss fights is so unique as well. So I love them for that. And yeah,
Yep.
what a great game. Great game.
Fantastic.